15 years ago, a vision was born to create a world where young voices could be heard, not just in classrooms or competitions, but in public spaces, cultural institutions, and national conversations. That vision became the Youth Poet Laureate program. What began as a spark has now grown into a movement, spanning over 100 cities across the U.S., and now reaching cities around the globe, giving young people the tools, the stage, and the confidence to share their stories with pride. 10 years ago, that dream reached Pakistan. It began with the simple idea that young poets in Pakistan deserve the same access to mentorship, recognition, and opportunity. And over the past 2 years, that idea became a reality. We launched Pakistan's first ever Youth Poet Laureate program. It was historic, it was powerful, and it confirmed what we've always known. Pakistan's youth have limitless talent. Pakistan holds a deep love for poetry, a rich literary tradition, but structured programs for young writers remain few and far between. That's why this work matters. In March 2024, more than 1,400 young poets applied. From that, 19 finalists were selected, 10 writing in English, 9 in Urdu. They were mentored by Pakistan's most respected poets, writers, and filmmakers. And in September, we reached a national milestone. At a beautiful ceremony in Lahore, Pakistan named its first Youth Poets Laureate, Aiman Tahir Khan and Mashallah Saif. We also launched Jashan, an anthology featuring the work of these 9 brilliant poets, paired with the powerful photography that brings their voices and their lives to light. But just as we prepared for year 2, our initial grant was suspended. The program was canceled. Still, we didn't stop. We just reopened submissions. We're mentoring, we're building without funding, but with full belief in this work. Now we need your help to keep it going. Your support will fund workshops, mentorships, public events, and future anthologies, real, lasting opportunities for young writers in Pakistan. All proceeds go to Urban Word NYC, directly supporting the Pakistan Youth Poet Laureate program. And there's more. This May, Aiman and Mashallah, Pakistan's first Youth Poet Laureates, will be traveling to the United States to share their poetry with us. This program isn't just about poetry. It's about investing in the next generation of artists, storytellers, and cultural leaders. It's about making sure every young voice has a place to rise. Help us keep this dream alive. Donate today and be part of a future where youth voices in Pakistan aren't just supported, they're celebrated. Thank you.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. How is everyone? Good. So our poets have only read to mostly American audiences, so we're ready to hear some va-va-vas today with this audience, some enthusiasm. You're going to hear poetry in English, Punjabi, and Urdu. This program, as was stated in the introduction, started out of the National Youth Poet Laureate program, which I was grateful and privileged to found back in 2008, and it has programs in over 100 cities across the United States. We actually just named our last national winner last night, our recent winner last night, and our poets opened up for the finalists. But as was said, we started this program 18 months ago with support for the U.S. Embassy. Of course, that was suspended, but we're still moving forward. It was a labor of love. We traveled to Pakistan 4 times in the past year, and I couldn't do it without the co-director and founder of this program, who will be taking us through the event today. We do have some anthologies in the gift shop. All proceeds go to support this program, and really just want to get on with the poetry. So before we get on with that, I want to thank the Asia Society and Rachel for hosting us. Of course, Rezi opened the doors from us when this was just an idea. We got to be at LLF in Lahore just promoting the program, and then he invited a group of the finalists and winners this year to LLF to perform in Lahore as well as Napa and Karachi. All of these different cultural institutions across Pakistan welcomed us with open arms. Poetry is not dead in Pakistan at all. It's thriving and it's growing. So I'm really honored to introduce our host for the evening and our co-director, Dr. Sara Zaidi.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. And we're in New York, so I should say what's good, right? But I don't know if the kids say that anymore. So what's good, New York? Kya haal hai? Good. Well, I am so excited. I'm delighted. I am just thrilled to be in this space in this moment because last year, this time around, right, I think we were at the Lahore Literary Festival in Lahore. So to see it come to New York, a place that's so dear to me. I taught down the street at Hunter for 10 years. I met my husband here. My daughter was born here. I used to walk by the Asia Society all the time. And now to be here in this space and to be presenting a program that has really been a labor of love and truly is kind of a love letter to the young people in Pakistan, to the young, brilliant writers and artists in Pakistan, as you've heard. And as you know, there's no shortage of brilliance. Every corner you turn, whether you're in Karachi, whether you're in Skardu, whether you're in Lahore, Islamabad, wherever you are in Pakistan, there's brilliance around every corner. And that's what we found over this incredible almost 2 years. We were able to travel to Pakistan. As you know, that literary arts programs are kind of, while they exist, funding for them can be scarce. And so we connected with the stakeholders there in Pakistan, and we were able to really build a network from there. 1,400 young people applied to this program, and reading through 1,400 poems of Pakistanis, love poems of Pakistanis but we arrived on some of the most beautiful and brilliant young people. 20 finalists, we're missing the others. They're in Pakistan right now, but we were lucky enough through support from the State Department to bring Aiman and Mashallah Saif here today with you. I'm gonna keep it moving because we need to get on to this poetry. I also wanna just take a minute to acknowledge Michael Cirelli, who is the founder of the National Youth Poet Laureate program. He has worked tirelessly for the past 25 years for young people. The National Youth Poet Laureate program is probably the biggest literary arts program in the entire country. It exists in 100 cities, in 20 states, and a National Youth Poet Laureate is designated every year. You might remember one. Her name was Amanda Gorman. So, yeah, and Pakistani poets are no less brilliant. And so we're excited to introduce them to you here. Thank you to the Asia Society, Rachel and Dia, for being such wonderful kind of creating this incredible space for us to witness beautiful, youth poetry. So let's get started. How many of you want to hear how brilliant our young Pakistani folks are? I mean, I think you can do better than that. How many of you want to? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, let's do it. Okay, we're gonna start off with the former New York City Youth Poet Laureate, Fatima Ahmad. Fatima Ahmad is a Brooklyn-based poet, writer, actor, activist, and filmmaker, proudly serving as the 2023-24 New York City Youth Poet Laureate. Her performances have graced prestigious stages, including the United Nations, Federal Hall, the Schomburg 2024 White House Youth Summit, and designer Philip Lim's FW 24, Fashion Week 24 Intersections event. Beyond the stage, Fatima cultivates community as the founder and host of Open Mic Nights with Fatima in Kulvir, a digital gathering space amplifying diverse intergenerational narratives, and as the host of the podcast with the best name ever, Jai Shai. Okay, welcome to the stage with a very warm round of applause, Fatima Ahmad.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I want to start off by saying I'm so happy कि मैं उर्दू में बात कर सकती हूँ और आप लोग understand कर सकते हो मुझे. What a blessing. The poem that I have for you today is actually about my mom, who's ironically in Pakistan right now. So it's called Garland of Roses with Teeth. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I do not see my fingers anymore. I see my mother's. She wears pain like a garland of roses with teeth. Delicate hands perfumed in jasmine and dish soap, scrubbing away what the world won't acknowledge. I never understood why she spent midnights washing dishes until sunrise. It is midnight and I'm washing dishes until sunrise. She couldn't stop. I cannot stop. I bite down and I feel petals blossoming between my teeth. She carries every inconvenience so that I do not have to. She could have chosen ease, but she chose what was best for me. Double meals, half a voice. She never chose, and now neither can I. I can never choose. I can never make up my mind, even when the silence begs me to. But I try, and I try, because you see, my mother dances on her rose prickles, blooming red for me, bleeding and bleeding, blooming me in fractured soil too. She leaks her stem, tears and years, so very rare. When we're sitting down drinking the chai that she loves so much, she serves her youth in fine china cups. It smells like injustice. It tastes like silence and love and love. She never let me need the farewell that she made of herself. She was on the phone saying to her cousin, who knew that her beauty would someday be her downfall, "For if you shine in the darkness, how could you still belong to it?" My mother said, "Yes, my daughter does poetry. She pens and inks a sophistication that I can no longer understand. She is good." Mama, good? उनके आंसुओं से उगले थे ये गुलाब जो मेरे लफ्ज़ों के दरमियान में फूले. The roses between my verses grew from her tears. उन जैसे लोग फूल नहीं होते, दुआओं के खिले राज होते हैं. उन जैसे लोग फूल नहीं होते, दुआओं के खिले राज होते हैं. People like her aren't flowers. Their secrets bloomed in prayer. The woman who taught me how to say my first words, the woman who never took no for an answer, descending up the stairs of American school policies, and without paperwork, they wouldn't even let her enter the building. The woman who told the principal that my daughter's foundation cannot be compromised, put her in a grade where she learns how to connect the vowels and alphabet to her truth. Otherwise, the climb of life will confuse her. The woman who taught me to translate unknown and fear into grammar and vocabulary words over and over and over again, says my words are too sophisticated for her. Her innocence and lifelessness keeps me humble. My resilience is not romantic, it is learned, like the surahs I mouth before knowing their meaning. I am my mother's daughter. Lahore breeze, a veil of chiffon, rose, maroon lipstick, spilling these rose stories into spaces that never expected to hold us. We are the archive and the altar, the poem and the protest, the rose and the prickle. We are the quiet revelation. I too will hold the children. Show them to the sun what it means to dream with our broken faith, a quiet devotion I made home to be landless. I was the only one that made it because of those who did not for my sake. My mother is my poem. Thank you.
Welcome to the stage, Mashallah Saif. She's Pakistan's first poet laureate in Urdu. Give it up for that. Hailing from Lahore with a graduation in Urdu literature from Government College University in Lahore, Mashallah is a trailblazing female writer promoting Punjabi culture and language. Her powerful poetry in Urdu and Punjabi explores themes of existence, women's empowerment, freedom of speech and life,
Featured in various magazines and on Folk Punjab, Mashallah's work extends to Punjabi songwriting and script writing, inspiring meaningful conversations and change. Please, please give a warm welcome to Mashallah Saif.
Thank you, Sara. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here and perform in front of you all. پہلی نظم ہے میری، میں یہ کس سے کہوں، میں یہ کس سے کہوں، آرزوؤں کی اپنی الگ داستاں ہے جسے کہنے والوں کے ہونٹ اور زبانیں سلامت نہیں۔ آئینے آنکھ میں جھانکتے ہیں مگر ان میں حیرت نہیں، مرنے والوں کی قبروں کو اب چادروں اور پھولوں کی کوئی ضرورت نہیں۔ لڑکیاں جسم ہیں اور جسموں کو بے جان کرتے ہوئے کتنے عفریت ہیں جن کے ماتھوں پہ محراب ہیں اور ہاتھوں میں تیزاب ہیں۔ لڑکیاں جسم ہیں اور جسموں کو بے جان کرتے ہوئے کتنے عفریت ہیں جن کے ماتھوں پہ محراب ہیں اور ہاتھوں میں تیزاب ہیں۔ میں یہ کس سے کہوں اور ثابت کروں کہ ہوا کون ہے، دیا کون ہے، کون ہر جائی ہے، باوفا کون ہے، بونکتا کون ہے، کاٹتا کون ہے، تھوکتا کون ہے، چاٹتا کون ہے، کون کنجوس ہے، بانٹتا کون ہے۔ زندگی کشمکش میں گزر جائے گی، کوئی امید ہے بھی تو مر جائے گی۔ مجھ کو معلوم ہے پہلا ہی آخری آدمی ہے، وہ سب جھوٹ کہتے ہیں آگے کوئی روشنی ہے۔ اندھیرا ہی بس زندگی ہے تو تم سب بھی بس اس اندھیرے میں زندہ رہو، میں نے تم سے کہا ہے تو تم اپنے آگے بھی سب سے یہ کہنا، مگر میں یہ کس سے کہوں، میں یہ کس سے کہوں۔ بہت شکریہ۔ اگلی غزل ہے، غزل کا آپ کو آئیڈیا ہوگا۔ تو جو میرا نہیں ہو رہا، تو جو میرا نہیں ہو رہا، کچھ بھی اچھا نہیں ہو رہا، تیرا دستے ہنر ٹھیک ہے، دل ستارہ نہیں ہو رہا، تیرے ہوتے ہوئے شہر میں کیوں اجالا نہیں ہو رہا، جو نہ ہونے تھے وہ ہو چکے، ہونے والا نہیں ہو رہا۔ نظم ہے کالک۔ میرے بال بچپن سے سفید تھے، میرے بال بچپن سے سفید تھے، میری سہیلیاں میرا مذاق اڑاتی تھیں۔ میں نے اپنی ماں کی طرح بالوں پہ کلر لگانا شروع کیا تو وہ اتر جاتا تھا۔ پھر میں نے بالوں پہ راتیں ملنا شروع کر دیں۔ اب میرا اندر میرے بالوں جیسا ہے، سیاہ اور تاریک۔ آگے باری آتی ہے پنجابی کی۔ نظم دنیا نال مکالمہ۔ میرے نین چ وین نے صدیاں دے، میرا ہاسا بھی بل پل گئے نے۔ میرے نین چ وین نے صدیاں دے، میرا ہاسا بھی بل پل گئے نے۔ تو دنیا ہے، تو توکھا ہے، کئی تیرے پیچھے رول گئے نے۔ تیرے توحفیاں دا بھی کی کرنا، مینوں تیرے پھل بھی تیر لگے۔ تیرے پنجرے کنے پیڑے نے، مینوں پائل بھی زنجیر لگے۔ تیرے توحفیاں دا بھی کی کرنا، مینوں تیرے پھل بھی تیر لگے۔ تیرے پنجرے کنے پیڑے نے، مینوں پائل بھی زنجیر لگے۔ جدو چپ ہووے تے صحرا اے، جدو چپ ہووے تے صحرا اے، جدو رووے دریا ہوندی اے۔ میں دنیا لئی ایک عورت ہاں، عورت ایک دنیا ہوندی ہے۔ بہت شکریہ۔ جدو چپ ہووے تے صحرا اے، جدو رووے دریا ہوندی اے۔ میں دنیا لئی ایک عورت ہاں، عورت ایک دنیا ہوندی ہے۔ مینوں اڈن دا کی کہندے ہو، مینوں اڈن دا کی کہندے ہو، میرے پر تو انبر ڈردے نے۔ میں اونج نہ ویکھاں نہ ویکھاں، میری اکھ تو منظر ڈردے نے۔ پنجابی غزل ہے۔ اینے ڈر نے دنیا اتے، راتاں نوں وی سوندے نہیں۔ اینے ڈر نے دنیا اتے، راتاں نوں وی سوندے نہیں۔ ایک دوجے دا منہ ویندے نے تے روندے نہیں۔ سارا دن ہی لنਘ جاندا اے اپنے حصے جوڑن وچ، سارا دن ہی لنਘ جاندا اے اپنے حصے جوڑن وچ۔ ادھے کھلرے لب جاندے نے، باقی ادھے ہوندے نہیں۔ کمرے خالی کر دے اپنا، اندر خالی کر بیٹھے ہاں۔ کمرے خالی کر دے اپنا، اندر خالی کر بیٹھے ہاں۔ ہن پاویں کوئی تھاں نہ ہووے، کر دے بوئے ٹوندے نہیں۔ ویلا کنبا نالے لوکی، جنہ لبے کھا جاندے نے۔ ویلا کنبا نالے لوکی، جنہ لبے کھا جاندے نے۔ ماپے پلیوں نہ وی لاون، کٹو کاٹو کھوندے نہیں۔ ਸੁੱਤੇ ਹੋਇਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਬਲਦੇ ਨੇ, ਸੁੱਤੇ ਹੋਇਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਬਲਦੇ ਨੇ, ਖੌਰੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਚਾਨਣ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ। ਤੇ ਆਖਿਰ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਜ਼ਮ for my father, the reason why I'm here today, the reason why I started writing. ਬਾਬੁਲ। ਅਥਰੂ ਸੁੱਕੇ ਜੁਸੇ ਰੁੱਖੇ ਮੁੰਦਰੀ ਕੰਗਨ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ ਰਹੇ, ਅਥਰੂ ਸੁੱਕੇ ਜੁਸੇ ਰੁੱਖੇ ਮੁੰਦਰੀ ਕੰਗਨ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ ਰਹੇ, ਲੋਭ ਦੇ ਮਾਰੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਘਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਇੱਟਾਂ ਪੁੱਟਦੇ ਰਹੇ। ਤੇਰਾ ਸਾਇਆ ਜਦ ਨਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਧੁੱਪਾਂ ਸਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਫੇਰ ਨਾ ਗਈਆਂ, ਤੂੰ ਕੀ ਜਾਣੇ ਬਾਪੂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਆਵਾਜ਼ਾਂ ਮਾਰਦੀ ਰਹੀਆਂ। ਖਿਲਰੀ ਚਾਦਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਪੱਗ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਵੱਲ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਰਦੇ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਨਿੱਕੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਦੂਜੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ। ਤੇਰਾ ਝੱਗਾ ਸੀਨੇ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਬਲਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਹਾਂ ਠਾਰਦੀ ਪਈਆਂ, ਤੂੰ ਕੀ ਜਾਣੇ ਬਾਪੂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਆਵਾਜ਼ਾਂ ਮਾਰਦੀ ਪਈਆਂ। ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ।
Thank you, Mashallah. So, anyone who says that young people aren't interested in poetry in Pakistan, they're absolutely wrong. We had 1,400 examples of why that statement is wrong. It is thriving. Urdu poetry, poetry in general is thriving, and English poetry. And we can teach English poets in America a thing or two. And the proof of that is our next poet, Aiman Tahir Khan. Let me pull up her. Aiman Tahir Khan is a writer from Lahore, Pakistan, and the inaugural Pakistan Youth Poet Laureate in English. Her work appears in Nimrod International Journal, Michigan Quarterly Review, Mixtape, Nashville Review, and elsewhere. She reads translations for the Adroit Journal and edits poetry for Sontag. This summer, she will mentor young Pakistani writers in poetic craft through the Lakir magazine program. Please give a big, huge round of applause for Aiman Tahir Khan.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm terrible with mics, so please bear with me. It's such an honor and privilege to be here, and I'd like to thank Urban Word and Asia Society for making it all possible, and my parents who are here with me today. Okay, so the first poem that I'm going to read for you guys is called How Can You Write About Flowers at a Time Like This? Find something new to cry about, my co-star app tells me, at an odd hour of the night while I am missing something I never held. And I wonder, must I always be crying? I would like to dance for a change. The curry leaf tree in the lawn has bent from heavy monsoon prayer, and bird skeletons are falling from the sky, and I fear my life is happening in a bookstore in a foreign country, words chattering in an alien language. I open one and begin to read a love poem by someone I once loved, stumble over a line about a starling, dots streaked across its broken body. Our world is filled with broken bodies, and I have come to recognize love only by its absence. Under a weeping mulberry, I recall the sound of a matchstick being scratched against a box, wringing wet. Me, unable to start a flame, wanting to stub it out on my wrist. A hush, muffled, rasping. Did you know that a collection of starlings is called a murmuring, and sometimes it is called a chattering? My best friend, when she paints, stores the leftover colors in plastic seashells she bought with her terrible haggling skills. Once, alone in her room, I held a bright green one to my ear, and I swear I heard the waves crashing in. The summer my mother stopped praying for me, I decided to make flowers every time I felt sad, and I ended up growing a garden inside my room. Not all of us are going to change the world. Some of us are just blooming momentarily. and flowers are of no use when fire rains from above. But I can only write about this for now. You are no longer here, and in a poem I have found a way to survive. A poem is a murmuring, is a chattering, is a wave crashing in, is a blooming momentarily, is a fire raining from above. Look, the world is a child's lost slipper, washing ashore, but people are people, and we must keep finding new things to sing amidst the wreckage. Thank you, guys. So, sorry, this is a bit of a downer, but a lot of my work is about grief. And sometimes grief can look like prayer, it can look like worship, but for me, it's just as simple as making something with your hands. So the next poem I'm going to read is called Remembrance. In the hospital, my mother sits beside me, recites words of praise on tasbih beats. Zikr. What makes an act of worship zikr is constant repetition in an attempt to remember God. Perhaps it is simply an excuse to keep the mind from racing. In moments of disquiet, my mother and her mother and her mother all clutched their rosaries. I clutch a crochet hook. I am making roses. This too might be a form of prayer. My fingers bring yarn over the hook, pull through to make a slip stitch at the same rhythm as my grandmother's heart, which will soon fall still. Zikr. In our own ways, we are all trying to forget what is no longer here. Okay, so the next poem I'm going to read, Michael actually insisted I read this one here because it's called In My Dreams, It Snows in Lahore. All summer, a purple sunbird has pecked my window. Someone has broken off stars from the sky, put them sharp as razors against my wrists. Still, people go on walks, write in broken verse, love poems. The sunbird flaps its wings, unable to recognize its reflection. In solitude, the leaves whisper God's many names. Still, people go on, songless. My nose bleeds as I unfold last winter's clothes. A dried grass blade clings to my muffler. Still redolent of clementines. Is this how you remember me? Soft moss dug from beneath your feet. My need to possess beauty, shame at wanting to end a life. In her last year alive, Ethel Adnan painted the same line over and over again. It is October. I am still punctuating my sentences with your breaths, writing lines you will never read. Almost all of my beliefs have deserted me. So for my last poem, I'd like to invite Mashallah on stage. So this is a poem of mine that she translated, and we're going to perform it together for you guys. I don't know how it's going to go back in. Yeah, thank you. Oh, it needs to be. Only in a dream.
सिर्फ एक ख्वाब.
When the sky is blue, I think of God. In a secret language, I speak only in my heart.
जब आसमान नीला होता है खुदा याद आता है, एक खुफिया ज़बान में जो दिल ही दिल में कहती हूँ.
And the wound isn't made out of light, but from love. I am brave, but not yet forgiven.
یہ زخم روشنی کا نہیں محبت کا تحفہ ہے. میں بہادر ہوں مگر ابھی تک معاف نہیں کیا گیا.
When God gave us language, He made us immortal. I lie to people that I am a poet. The truth is,
جب خدا نے ہمیں زباں عطا کی ہم فانی نہ رہے. میں کہتی ہوں کہ شاعر ہوں حقیقت کچھ اور ہے.
I am writing the same poem over and over again. Your name on every page.
میں تو بس ایک ہی نظم کو دہراتی ہوں ہر صفحے پر اور ہر صفحے پر لکھا ہوتا ہے صرف تمہارا نام.
I should have known. God isn't in the books they translate or in the buildings.
میں ہم کی صورت کو تھامنے کی کوشش کرتی ہوں. یہ دنیا ہر بار اسے چھین لیتی ہے. مجھے معلوم ہونا چاہیے تھا خدا نہ ان کتابوں میں ہے جو ترجمہ کی گئیں.
Made of false promises, He is in us. And there is a dream I don't tell anyone about.
نہ ان عمارتوں میں جو جھوٹے وعدوں سے بنی ہیں. وہ تو ہم میں بستا ہے خاموشی کی گہرائی میں. ایک خواب ہے جو میں کسی سے نہیں کہتی.
Where I have a love that does not burn when I hold it in my arms.
جس میں ایک ایسی محبت ہے جو گلے لگانے پہ سکون دیتی ہے.
Thank you guys.